Elizabeth Arden Cream.
This One's Wife. Harry's, Meghan's, demands. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Harry is apparently going to be coming to the UK and is purportedly going to meet with his estranged father, King Charles, in the course of next week, which it'll be their first in-person reunion in some 20 months. The Prince of Pink Pancakes, however, is getting up on his charger and he's making some demands. Yes, he's putting his foot down. He's issuing the diktats. Okay, so, here are my demands, he announces. Apparently, in order for all the rumoured peace talks to take place, Harry has reportedly issued several requests that need to be fulfilled by the Windsor clan. Now, these demands have been speculated upon by a publicist called Rob Shooter. Again, as is always the case, I'll let you decide on the veracity of them. Mr. Shooter was Jennifer Lopez's former PR honcho, so he's certainly used to spending time around narcissists and those affected by narcissists, though whether he's picked up on that remains to be seen. Apparently, Harry's list of demands includes full security for him and his family. Naturally, this is something that the Sussexes repeatedly bleat about, but once again demonstrates the hypocrisy of Harry and this one's wife, whereby they can go to places such as Colombia and Nigeria and not be concerned about security, that they can continue to share details about their children online and not be so concerned about security, and yet claim that they're really worried about security when they come to the United Kingdom, which means that full security has to be provided. It's also the case that he's wanting press control. Apparently, well, that would be the case, that requiring that press control is all part of the Sussexes' repeated desire to handle the narrative. And this clearly has been impressed upon him by this one's wife, that this one's wife is to be treated as Her Royal Highness, complete with bowing and curtsies in her presence. Yep, people have got to bow to her and curtsy and give her the whole HRH experience, even though she is no longer one. Now, I don't for 1 minute think that this one's wife is going to go to the United Kingdom. The reason being is that her narcissism, as I've said so many times before, perceives the United Kingdom as such a hostile place that in its job as a defender of her, as a self-defense mechanism, it simply states there's nothing for us there and there's too great a risk. Hostile media, hostile public, hostile members of the royal family, we're not going to subject our narcissist to this. And thus, she doesn't come. It's not an absolute bar. If the prize was so great that those risks would be worth overcoming, she might attend. And it's possible that if there was a significant financial incentive, given the fact that it is rumoured that the Sussexes are in financial difficulties as a consequence of the drying up of opportunities and the significant overheads that they have, if there was a potentially attractive financial windfall, that might cause her to see beyond those threats to control. But ordinarily, she's unlikely to attend, and it's Harry that does so. But it is interesting to learn that apparently there is this demand for this one's wife to be treated as Her Royal Highness. And if that is accurate, of course, this is demonstrative of the high-handed nature of this one's wife, who, typical narcissist that she is, has completely deleted the awfulness of her behaviour, what she has said in interviews since she left the United Kingdom, what has been taken place in magazines, what has been stated in Spare, which we all know that she was heavily involved in, that all the things that have been said about the royal family and the complaints and the brickbats that have been thrown from the other side of the ocean She isn't accountable for any of that. She was justified, and her narcissism, in effect, causes her to forget about all of it. And you should treat me well because you've been horrible to me. But hang on a second. You've been flinging shit around for years. No, I was allowed to do that because you were horrible to me first. Remember? The narcissist is the perpetual victim. And it is that which is the engine that causes her high-handed and arrogant belief that people should kowtow to her, bending the knee and kissing the hand, and give her the full HRH experience. Whereas anybody else would say, you can fuck that shit sky high. You're not getting treated like that after the way that you have behaved. As I've stated, I still don't think that she will come. But it isn't a surprise that her lackey, Prince Harry, issues such demands, demonstrating how his own arrogance is fed into by the behaviour of this one's wife, and how he believes that it's appropriate to ask for those things, demonstrating that he swallowed the Kool-Aid and he has entered that awful shared fantasy where he resides. If he had any insight, he would look at it and think, oh, well, Megsy, you not really behave particularly well, so I don't think that I can ask for those things. You know that if he was to speak up, even if he was able to see that, if he was able to speak up about it, then out would come the tasers and the old pink pods would get a good old zapping, being turned into pink pancakes. Apparently, Harry wants ironclad guarantees, not vague promises. Security and privacy are non-negotiable, the insider added. The California transplant previously insisted that having his family joining on trips to the UK was not an option without full police protection, for which he lost his appeal in English courts earlier this year. See parts passim. Interestingly, though, the article seems to go on to contradict itself because it states it's understood that Harry will be flying solo as his wife, who has not set foot in the UK since September 2022, will remain in Montecito with the children. Another insider claims that Charles wants peace and to see his son, but these demands risk blowing open old wounds. Maybe what they're suggesting is that Harry's coming as part of some peace talks and that his demands, not ahead of the meeting, are the demands that he's going to issue at this meeting to state, look, if I'm going to come again and it's all of my family and you get to see your grandkids, that means full security, press control and the HRH experience for my wife. So perhaps that's what it's referring to, that he's coming with a list of demands. These aren't the demands that are being made ahead of the trip. It wouldn't be a surprise if these have been issued, because of course this is what this one's wife wants. She believes that she's the victim, she wants the royal family to kowtow to her, and she will send her little errand boy along with him appearing to make these demands to ensure that she gets what she wants. She wants the security because it makes her feel important, which is something that she can then wield as against people as she comes along in a 15-car cavalcade and then winds the window down, demonstrating that she really is a bit of a dumb fuck. She wants the press control because that assists with the assertion of control as being a narcissist and to nullify those nasty voices that might speak out against her. And naturally, she wants to ensure that she gets all of the knee bending and the hand kissing because she believes that she's hugely important. And whilst she has not been a royal in the full sense of the word for much time at all, she will still grift off the title because as a narcissist with this absolute sense of entitlement, the utilisation of status is beneficial for the purpose of the pursuit of the prime aims. Well, this is the list that Harry's meant to be coming with. No doubt there'll be plenty of speculation when he does turn up in the United Kingdom about what's discussed and what the outcome is, and no doubt I'll be commenting about it further. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.